What is up, YouTube? My Cowboys family here, bringing you guys the latest update on our very own Dallas Cowboys. And of course, as always, thank you so much for joining us here tonight. Take a second to hit like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, follow us on all social media at My Cowboys Family, and of course, hop in the Discord. The link for that's in the description box down below.
Yeah, guys, welcome into another one here, My Cowboys Family, as we're going to take a look at our offense. Hopefully still firing on all cylinders like we were last week in the McCarthy offense versus the very, very tough Eagle defense. We're going to break it down and see how we can break them down and talk about, some couple matchups here before we dive deeper later on in the week on this huge matchup. NFC East, NFC Conference, NFL. Big game of the week. So on that note, let's open things up and shout out those that make the things happen here at MCF on the nightly, weekly, monthly, yearly. You know who they are. You know why he's here. Snug X, yes, the sponsor of the week. Much love to Snug X, capturing the top shelf of all of the accolades here. But then he's also the Cash App King for 11 straight weeks, trying to go for that Roger Staubach 12. That's 3 months if he gets that. But currently not in the lead on that side of things. Currently, it is the man they call Jason Renfro. He is currently the leader in the Cash App. Much love to Jason. And Jason Renfro is also the gifting champion last week. He's in the running this week, but Skeptical Fan is currently on the top spot right now this week here. It's really a double week. I'll explain more on that in a minute. But yes, much love to you guys on that side. And of course, the man Mark Hovsepian hanging on with that Jalen Tolbert. 18 points on that stream boss. Much love to Mark Hovsepian as he hangs on to that. One of the all-time ballers here as a sponsor of the week. Dominator, 15 in a row, if you remember. That's the all-time record. Now, I did want to also shout out, again, we had some mixing and matching because, guys, got to shout out some people here pre-stream and some memberships that have dropped. Jason Renfro, A. Lavelle, Gerald Swain, MCW. You got, Skeptical Fan, Mary Alvarez, Andy Pocht, and Kevin Richards. Everybody's memberships are dropping, so I try to adjust those on the board right now. If anything changes, of course, I'll re-scramble that tomorrow. But just so everyone knows, the new numbers are up there and the current overall leader. It's been amazing games for the last 2 weeks, basically, but Jason Renfro with the membership jumped over that, and now he is a little bit, just a hair in front of amazing games for the overall top spot, trying to get that sponsor of the week. So appreciate everybody. I hope I shouted everyone out, and I got to make another definite shout out here before we get this thing kicked off, and that's Andy Pocht. Why? Star level member. He also dropped a $10 holler in the thanks. He said, quote, "Thanks. Here's my jersey entry, so I get 2 entries, right? Being a star member also correct. Keep up the great work. Much love to you, Andy Pocht." And yes, that's exactly right. You're in the star level membership. You're in any membership. We'll talk about those raffle entries in a minute, but you hit that 10, you get that second entry if you're in any membership level. And by the way, speaking of memberships, we always shout out everybody in that star level, over everything levels. So without further ado, let's kick off that side of things. Much love to Skeptical Fan, always staying skeptical. Appreciate the man Jason Renfro, the top dog Dwayne Broussard. You got Lincoln Kane all the way from Australia, Mary Alvarez leading the pack, who, by the way, back in that star level membership. Like I said, Skeptical Fan as well, back in that star level membership. Jason Renfro back in the star level membership. Appreciate you guys. Andy Pocht back in that star level membership as well. Appreciate you. Marissa Sparkle in the house. And never forget, De Lunatic.
Woo. Bringing
him up in another minute or two here. But as you heard, there's ways of dropping the love, super chats, thanks. You jump in the membership. You can share gift memberships. If you're in the membership, you can gift them to people. And that's one of the best ways of giving back the love here. But there's 4 other ways. Support the channel. When you look at the Cash App side, the kingdom of the Cash App, SnugX been rocking that for almost 3 full months. What are the 4 ways people can drop love through there?
Of course, you have the Cash App, money sign My Cowboys Family, the Venmo at My-Cowboys-Family. You have the regular PayPal link, of course, and last but not least, the Streamlabs link lets your comment show up on screen just like a super chat.
Yeah, and remember, we just shouted out, the crew up there as far as the star level membership, and one of those guys is the Lunatic. The Lunatic has a very special raffle. We do a double week here, 2 weeks of tallying the top spots. There's a double jersey raffle. 2 jerseys to be raffled off, guys, to 2 different winners. 2 separate winners going to win a jersey apiece. and you can pick which jersey you want, old schools, new school, legends. You know the deal here. Authentic, different styles, sizes, the whole deal.
Seen us rep our own here, of course. No, everyone's asking, hey, how do I hop in? Guys, if you drop $10, bam, you're automatically in, and it is cumulative, right? So for the people who drop their little drops of love, it all adds up. And of course,
once you hit that $10 mark, by the way, you get, if you're in the membership, you automatically get that bonus entry, that bonus raffle entry. So you can maximize that, but then you can also stack your entries. How do they do that, baby? Because 10 you're in, but
every 10 on top of that is an additional bonus entry. So of course, shout out to all of our members, and hopefully you enjoy that extra little perk there if you are in the raffle and also a member.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm saying again, stacking them, you can up your chances in winning a jersey.
I said that.
Yeah, and I'm saying right now, I think Jason Renfro and Amazing Games are like neck and neck with about the leaders right now in the jersey raffles for this. Again, when is going to happen? Halftime of this Eagle game, this Eagle battle on Sunday afternoon, late afternoon here in the East Coast. So can't wait to see what happens. Appreciate the man, the lunatic, for making things happen here for the family here, giving a little back, and then just hopefully we'll be happy at halftime with a nice hefty lead. Let's see what happens. Cowboys got to put in the work this week. We're going to talk about it tonight on what needs to be done to get this victory, this dub. Now, baby, as we moving on here, it's time to do some of those shout-outs. And about who's in the house right now.
We have Thomas Garrett, the Superior Garrett. We have to give an extra special shout-out to the man formerly known as Kellen Moore. Mr. A. Lavelle just dropped a $17 hop.
Kellen Moore. I get it now.
Yeah, Mr. A. Lavelle was Kellen Moore. I feel like you'd have more questions.
Much love, Mr. Lavelle, in the silver level, by the way. And like I said, he has the silver level membership in there. Guess what? He's jumping up this board, upping his membership abilities here. Appreciate you, as always, the great A. Lavelle. Been here for 40 months. Insane numbers. Appreciate. I think he's the all-time record holder on any membership level. What did Mr. Lavelle have to say with that 1-7?
What's up, MCF and MCW? What's good, everyone in the chat? Hope everyone is safe and healthy. Let's beat the Eagles, baby, and take over the NFC East. Never forget, let's go Cowboys.
Go Cowboys. You know it.
Have a great night. Have a great show. Thank you so much, Mr. Lavelle. And by the way, I believe with that, he does take over the stream boss.
Don't think so. I think it was 18. So I think Jason Renfro
just
might have just squashed that away.
So yes, he did. There we go. So
all right,
Mr. Renfro, officially the stream bossing that stream around. Huge shout out to you. Much love. But yes, I'm gonna keep rolling with the shout out to, of course, Jason Renfro, Thomas Garrett, the Superior Garrett, Mr. A. Lavelle. Shout out to you as well. Raven Solis, hello and hi. We have Terrence Cartwright, what's up? Fuego, hello and hi. Titan Anderson Sports, man.
Hey, Titan in the house.
Titans unfortunately let me down today, but it's okay.
But hey, that quarterback's playing pretty damn well. I got to give him credit. Will Levis.
So,
I'm not sure if I'm saying his name right. But
no, it's all good. Let me kind of keep rolling here. Fuego, what's up? Texas Twister, hello and hi. Not just trying to make sure I don't miss anybody. See my wife, Fuego. Cowboy's wife. Yeah, that's actually as far back as I can go with the shout outs here of everybody. Let me see Xavier Hidalgo. Much love to you as well. Yeah, so perfect. So that is everybody here in the chat who has said hello or hi or done something there. I mean, those are all
some comments in the house. What are they saying in the chat?
Let me see. Fuego said, damn, we lost tight end Eric Sauber and guard Chris Glasser.
Yeah, that was yesterday. Yeah, we discussed that here. Sauber's the one you want to kind of, Sorbet is the one you kind of wanted to keep an eye on there because we just picked them up and then he just got poached. So yeah, we talked about that though a couple days ago. I got a shout out coming here, by the way, so give me a minute.
So, let me kind of roll back a little bit more. Rolando Rodriguez, yeah, take it easy. So we've kind of touched on most of the comments here. Most of the people are just kind of shouting out, saying hello and hi. And Fuego, like I said earlier, and it bears repeating though, I hope your recovery goes smoothly, and I hope they're able to get everything worked out sooner rather than later.
Your do-do-do makes me want to dance.
Oh, well, I mean, hey, if you're ready, I'm ready.
Yeah, I'm not, but I'll roll with it right now. I just want to have to do a shout out here. Much love, by the way. We're in our new uniforms tonight here, as every day we switch our the way we look here. But gonna shout out another $10 holler here. Where? By Stan EEE1, who dropped a 1-0 $10 holler in the raffle, by the way, officially now, right? I don't think he's in the membership, but if I don't know what his name is in the chat, but I'm going by his code here.
Yeah, I don't see him.
Yeah, Stanny, much love. He's on the board. He's in the raffle with a $10 holler, and he said, "Yo, Cowboys."
So, and trust me, Xavier, we would love to go to every single Dallas Cowboy game, but they're gonna have to find a way to win without us.
Yeah, well, unless Jerry Jones sends us, you know what I mean? Jerry, fly us out every game. We're going. Let's do it. By the way, before we even can move on, the leader of the Cash App, Jason Renfro, the leader of the overall board and the current stream boss, 100 full points. He dropped a $1.76 holler in the Cash App. Much love, Mr. Jason Renfro. He's attempting a full-out takeover. Now, as we get rolling in here, guys, I get rolling. First, Big Boss Man, congrats. He's now a member officially. Why?
Because Jason Renfro said, "I'm sharing and showing the love with a gifted membership."
Woohoo!
Thank you, Jason. I appreciate you so much. Always go Cowboys.
Go Cowboys.
And Big Boss Man, congrats.
Yeah, he gets one. Jason is moving up on that board as well. Is he coming for that board too? I mean, he's still a little bit back on a Skeptical Fan, but Jason Renfro moving all over this board. Cash App, gifted memberships, everywhere. Got the overall lead. Jason Renfro coming for the top spot. Again, any last shout-outs there before we keep it rolling? Because I do have to update the board.
Yep, 808 Cowboy Legion, what's up? And yeah, Xavier Hidalgo, trust me, we would love nothing more. Although, I will tell a slightly funny story, because at my job today, we had a gentleman come in wearing a pretty much head-to-toe Eagles gear, and I stopped him, and I'm like, "I'm sorry, you can't be in this office if you're wearing that. That's against the company policy." So, of course, it's a joke, but if it was my company, it would have been a joke.
She threw him out. She threw him out. Like a good Cowboy fan should. Yeah.
So anyway, back to you, baby. Like I said, I think I've gone through all the shout-outs here, touched on most of the comments, so if you're ready, I'm ready.
Yep, let's go here, guys. We'll get a quick one through tonight, I guess. So DeMarcus Ware, guys, he spoke. Not DeMarcus Lawrence. Although he did speak later on, but DeMarcus Ware spoke after the Rangers' victory last night. Fantastic, right? They won 4-1 against the Arizona Diamondbacks, world champions, first time in their 63-year lifespan. So big time congrats for the Texas Rangers. But DeMarcus Ware made a video, and in the video he had his Texas Rangers hat, and he said, "But hold on." And he took off his hat, put on a Cowboys hat, and said, "Come on now, when are you doing this?" So just so you guys understand, the last championships in the DFW area, the Rangers, of course, won in 2023. The Mavericks won in 2011. The Dallas Stars won in 1999, and the Cowboys in 1996. So, yeah, we're still at the bottom of the pile, whether it is who got there last or who won it last. Cowboys, the ones farthest back. Somebody who's not too far back anymore is Jason Renfro, dropping another gifted membership. Colleen K with the big win there. Congrats to her. And now, Jason Renfro, he's moving on up a little bit higher now on that gifting board. He's in the first place spot. With those two drops back to back, he already has moved into another membership to his name, right? He's moving to add those two up. That's another membership, another raffle entry.
Yes, thank you, Jason, of course, showing the love by gifting a membership there. And Colleen, congrats to you. Yes. You guys already know, drop them.
Yes.
If you got them.
Drop those
especially
emojis.
Especially because, since this is an extra special NFC East hate week, we have to, throw those extra special emojis
There should be one new one in there. Fuck the Eagles. If you look closely, it's in there. Not just the fuck Philly, but fuck the Eagles. Mm-hmm. So anyways, but another little side note on the Texas Rangers playoff win last night. It happened against the Diamondbacks in Game 5 in Arizona. The Dallas Mavericks, the last playoff series that happened, was both against the Suns, and Game 7 was in Arizona. And the Cowboys, of course, won their last Super Bowl 30 against Pittsburgh in Arizona. Just seems like Arizona's a place where the Cowboys or Dallas teams like to win championships. I don't know. Anyways, NFL news real quick. A couple quick notes. Giants in our division, we see them next week after the Eagles. Graham Gano, good kicker, got signed a big deal, not having a good year, battling a knee injury right now. The Giants are right now, looking at they put Randy Bullock to their practice squad. He's going to be, again, passing a physical. He looks like he's made it onto the Giants practice squad, and he looks like he's going to be the kicker for them going forward. With Graham Gano probably going on IR possibly here, right? Now, Bullock was with the Giants in 2016, and you know who else the Giants worked out outside of Randy Bullock, who won the job? Matthew Wright, Robbie Gould, and Mason Crosby. Names sound familiar?
They do.
So, of course, we have Brandon Aubrey, who, of course, we're very happy with. We're going to talk about Brandon Aubrey a little later tonight. Now, one former Cowboy, Jalen Smith, got signed today. All right, by the Las Vegas Raiders under new management now. Right, he's got signed to the practice squad, off the Saints practice squad, and now he's with the Raiders. He has to be on their 53-man roster for the next 4 weeks. I think the next 4 games. Of course, second round pick for the Cowboys. Now has a chance to play. In a more meaningful way than being elevated off the practice squad now with the Raiders. So we'll see how he does there. Good luck to him. He's battling back through Green Bay, the Giants, the Saints, now with the Vegas Raiders. Now, as we keep it moving here, Mike McCarthy ended up speaking, of course, as he usually does. And, he kind of, also discussed a little bit about the Rangers win yesterday, the big win last night. And McCarthy said this, opening up with baseball, quote, "How about them Rangers? Winning those games on the road, hopefully we get a little luck from our guys there." I got you. Yeah, I got it. On the road in Arizona, on the road in Philly, we got to get the win. It's not about luck. It's about preparation, McCarthy. Get it done. Now, he said this about the Eagle game, quote, "I think the game speaks for itself. It's the Dallas Cowboys versus the Philadelphia Eagles. To me, that's as far as it needs to go, and we'll be ready to go." Now, he was referring to the question as far as the San Francisco 49ers. They were asking, how does that compare to this, this situation? He's like, listen, it's not about the Niners. It's about the Cowboys and the Eagles right now. So focus is maintained, at least outwardly. We've heard this before from McCarthy. Outward focus, inward, confusion. We've seen this happen in games, so I'm just going to take him for his word, on his word, and just kind of say, yeah, I know you say this. Let's see it. Now, what was the original plan about Tyron Smith? Do you remember?
I mean, before or after the next stinger?
No, after what's his plan this week?
No, I mean, of course, the plan is to have him play.
Well, the actual progress was he was missing yesterday's practice, and today he was supposed to practice in the full padding. We talked about this like every day this week since McCarthy had opened up with that on Monday. But today they deviated from the plan. Not surprising to me. I'm just going to be honest. But now Tyron Smith's not going to practice today, which I said yesterday. I don't know if you remember, but I said if he practices, I think he's going to. If he don't practice, it's probably not a no-go. But it's the wording that's changed. Not necessarily that he's not practicing is a bad thing here. Let me explain. Tyron Smith's not practicing today. That's been changed. He's going to do footwork and walk through stuff today, the next 2 days, with hope that he practices on Saturday and, of course, then turns around and can play on Sunday. He's missed 3 games because of this situation here, on and off, injuries. McCarthy said, though, there's no angst. There's no concern about Tyron Smith being able to play. As long as he practices on Saturday, is what McCarthy is saying, then he will be fine to go against the Eagles. So it's changed from Thursday having to practice to see where he's at. Sounds like he's at the right spot.
I agree.
Now it sounds like it's about Saturday, and can he maintain there without any setbacks for the walkthrough? If he does, he's going to play against the Eagles. That's what it sounds like. I'm not going to say it either way, because with this, it's a roll of the dice right now. I don't know who's telling the truth or what's true or not, but either way, we've heard it go both ways. Where, okay, let's hold him. He's going to see what happens on Saturday, and all of a sudden he breaks an ankle. But then you see him also, sitting over there saying, let's see what happens on Saturday, and everything looks like cautious, and then he's in there playing on Sunday. So we'll have to wait and see basically what it is. Maybe trying to keep the Eagles off kilter there on things. What about Chuma Edoga? Because he'll be the guy that has to play, right? He, according to McCarthy, with the ankle, is fine to do some work in practice today. So, again, that's good news for the backup tackle spot. McCarthy then also talked about a very important toe. You remember who got injured yesterday with the toe? J-Ron Curse. So we didn't know what happened. According to McCarthy, he was going to be in a limited category at practice. So when we see the actual report, it's going to probably be limited, right? He said that the Cowboys are, quote, just being smart with J-Ron Curse at this moment. I'm thinking he's going to play. They're just managing his injury. He's limited. That still means he's going to probably play. Now, we know about Michael Gallup. He was sick yesterday, had illness. Today, again, seen back in practice after missing yesterday. So back in practice, how will he be listed? Well, we'll have to wait and see on that. Now, as the day went on, that was McCarthy's press conference. Then they had their practice. Like I said, so Michael Gallup out there. Pretty much everyone was out there except for Tyron Smith. And when you see the actual injury report, you understand that, they yanked off all the other little bruises and bumps. We had like 10 guys on the list. Now it's down to 4. The guys that took off were like Jordan Lewis and other guys with some basic injury stuff. And not injury stuff, veteran rest day stuff. And, of course, Michael Gallup still with the illness, right, from yesterday. He didn't practice today. Full practice for Michael Gallup in a full padded practice. So he's in for this game over the illness situation. Then you had Chuma Edoga. I'm sorry, let me rephrase that. J-Ron Curse. Remember, what did McCarthy say just a minute ago about his status to play? He was going to be in the limited category. Well, yesterday he didn't practice at all with the toe. But today, J-Ron Curse, he was full blast. So he lied to us, McCarthy. He said limited.
Fast one.
He said limited for J-Ron Curse. J-Ron Curse was in full pads. Full practice in full pads. He's good to go. I feel good about J-Ron Curse playing on Sunday against the Eagles on Dallas Goedert. Important matchups. So that's a good sign there from him. Now let me move to the offensive lineman and Chuma Edoga with the tackle. Let me get McCarthy out of there. Well, again, he had an ankle injury, of course. Remember the low ankle sprain? Limited in practice yesterday, limited in practice today. But, key note, it was added to his injury was a knee.
Oh.
So we're not really sure what that means. Obviously, something got tweaked. But remains limited, but they added the knee injury. A knee injury. I don't know if he tweaked it. Maybe he's downgraded a little bit. What about Tyron Smith? They didn't practice yesterday with the neck stinger. They didn't practice again today, as we kind of knew from McCarthy. And, again, it was expected. So it's not a surprise there. Still has a very good chance, supposedly a good chance to play on Sunday if he practices on Saturday. But guys, all the other guys were taken off the list. We had like 10 guys. 6 were taken right off because of it was just a Veteran Day. And the only ones that matter are the 4 I just talked about. So we're pretty good, knock on wood, decently, healthy. The biggest issues right now would be left tackle, which would be Tyron Smith. And then his backup, Chuma Edoga, kind of still waiting to see who's going to be able to get on that field and play. But the good news is there were no new injuries reported outside of Chuma Edoga's knee. So, that's just a wrap up there on the injury stuff. And I'll touch on the Eagles here real quick. And we will touch back on this. It's really quick for the Eagles and their injury report. By the way, if you're wondering what I was thinking about the Eagles in this upcoming game, you guys know already the way I feel about it. Fuck the Eagles.
Always.
So, by the way, and again, I won't do this for the injury report. Got to be disrespectful. But their guys on there, they're tied in with the concussion. Calcaterra, he's not going to play. He's still did not practice today. They had Boston Scott with a personal situation. He didn't practice again 2 days in a row. And all the guys that were limited yesterday, still limited, except for Sue Opeta, offensive lineman. He's full practice with the hip, so he's one of their starters on offensive line. He's solid, ready to go. You watch Cam Jurgens. You watch, guys in the trenches like Jordan Davis on defense. These guys are still limited with their injuries, a foot, a hamstring. Milton Williams in the trenches there, defensive tackle. Shoulder injury limited as well. Their tight ends are kind of banged up, I will say, behind Dallas Goedert. But the biggest guy to watch here, Jalen Carter, by the way, his back is fine. He's going to be full practice again, back-to-back. So he's good to go. The rookie, we'll get to see him out there. But the key here is the key that I've been saying pretty much the whole week. I've been saying it for like 3 weeks since the bye week and against the Rams. This guy, CeeDee Lamb versus their slot nickel cornerback. Their starter, Bradley Roby, he still has a shoulder injury. Did not practice yesterday. Did not practice today. So that's why I'm just going to give you a preview. We're talking about the Cowboy offense versus the Eagle defense today. And that is obvious that whether it's today, tomorrow, the next day, on game day, that's going to be a key. How the Eagles going to be able to slow down CD in the slot or outside. They got some good coverage guys. Yeah, they got Darius Slay. They got James Bradbury at the outside corners. They got safeties like Kevin Byard and Reed Blankenship. All right, Byard definitely a big addition to them. But the nickel cornerback is the big issue, and he is hurt. He still has not played, and I hope he plays. But the point is, if he doesn't, you got to attack. Right now, they got Josiah Scott as the backup. Last week, they moved Bradbury into the slot, and he got torn up. This is going to be an issue for them. The other cornerback, they got is Kylie Ringo, a rookie. Josh Joby. Sidney Brown, a safety. They're going to move someone. They got 3 safeties total. So they don't have much really left there to stop whoever's in the slot. And they had CD in the slot and on the outside in the Michael Gallup X spot. We never talk about it too much, but the Michael Gallup spot, it's always Michael Gallup. That's one of the changes McCarthy did. He actually put CeeDee Lamb in that spot. And the Rams didn't know how to cover it. And that's something we're going to move. I'll just give you a little taste of what's coming up about McCarthy's offense when we talk about this matchup and hopefully what the Cowboys do forward. But yes, nickel cornerback, the slot for the Cowboys, CeeDee Lamb versus blank. That's the point there. Who's going to be covering him? I don't know. But they're going to have trouble against CeeDee Lamb, especially if Bradley Roby looks like he's not training to play. He didn't practice 2 days in a row. We'll have to see what happens tomorrow. If he does play, he's still going to be not 100%. We can bet your ass on that. Something the Cowboys have to look at to attack, right? Now, I think we're going to talk about some, maybe we hit up the chat for a couple seconds here, but also I know we're going to have some of the players quickly spoke about a couple of things today. We'll start off with the defense, special teams after that, and then we'll go to the offense a little later as we get into the Eagle discussion here. Our offense versus their defense. Who's in the house, baby? What was said? Oh, and Jason Renfro. Dropping that $2 holler.
He said, hold up. With the $2 holler saying more in the Cash App, so let's go Cowboys.
Hell yeah, let me double check that. Appreciate you. Go Cowboys from Jason Renfro. Much love, man. Who else is in the house talking?
Thank you, Jason. So we have Stanley Smith. What's up?
Much love. He is. Stanley, I got you, man. I got him. He's in the raffle. And again, it's stackable. So, you can always build to another one if you want to up your chances to win one of these 2 fantastic of your choices, right? Which player? You can pick any team, any sport, but Cowboys, there's a lot of Cowboys to choose from. So much love to Stanley. What was that in the house there?
That is
Stanley Smith. Much love to him. And go Cowboys.
So, and thank you again, Jason Renfro, of course. We have...
Oh, by the way, and yes, you talked about Jason Renfro. He dropped a little love in the Cash App, upping himself up to getting closer to another... Oh, that's Snug. Not Snug. Snug's the king right now. But the leader is Jason Renfro. He dropped a $3.20 holler in the Cash App of Go Cowboys. And a big shout out to Jason as he keeps building. Not just for the takeover. He's taken over almost every single facet of the things here. Outside of the gifting side of things, he's halfway there. Jason Renfro is taking everything over, trying to, and got those raffle entries stacking them up, trying to get another jersey here. Much love, and go Cowboys.
So, let me kind of roll back a little bit here. Revelation Journalist, what's up, saying McCarthy to the rest of the NFL. And to the NFL world. Dak Prescott is my offensive coordinator. That cracks me up. Although it does make me curious because I think Dak Prescott would go full Kellen Moore.
I hope not, but yeah. He's been taught that way from Garrett, so.
So, now let me kind of roll back a little bit. Xavier Hidalgo, by the way, said, can you guys go to the Cowboy game this week so we can win?
Really wish.
Hey, let's go, baby. Let's make it happen, right? So... Oh, even you, real shit. Even you.
Oh, he loves the Cowboys.
All right, Jamar Chason, much love to you. Shout out to you. And kind of roll back. Yeah, I think we shouted out pretty much everybody here.
So let's start off with some defense here. We talked about it yesterday. Oh, sorry. We talked about it yesterday. And DeMarcus Lawrence spoke about it today. He spoke a little bit from the defensive side of the ball. And, he had a couple comments, I think, from today. I know you caught up with that. So break it down for me, baby.
So, DeMarcus Lawrence, by the way, he kind of said this, quote, "We're not going to sugarcoat it like the Eagles don't have a good team. They're one of the best teams in the league. And if we want to solidify ourselves and say who we are and beat our chest, we have to come out with this win."
I hear him doing a lot of talking to Marcus Lawrence. I got to see the action.
He kind of generally does do quite a bit of talking. I have to agree with him on this one, though, because he's had this to say about the whole tush-push crap. Quote, "In all honesty, that tush-push does not matter to me. That's one play in an entire game. And if we let one play beat us, then we've got way, way more to worry about than the tush-push."
No. If we keep...
So I guess don't be pushing on Hank's...
Tush.
Tush.
Look, the thing is that the Cowboys are allowing that over and over again. That means that we are breaking down, allowing 3rd and shorts and 4th and shorts. So, yeah, I mean, Marcus Lawrence actually is making some sense there. But again, let's stop him from getting to those 3rd and shorts and 4th and shorts. Don't just talk about it.
Yeah. So, and that was pretty much all he had to say today. Yeah, he didn't say too much.
Yeah, we also had a guy who is the special teams. I don't have a picture of him here. I do have to. I'll find it. But special teams player of the month for the NFC, and that's our kicker, Brendan Aubrey.
And you did hear that right. Of the month.
Yes. Hey, he was just the special teams player of the week. This week, hitting the 58-yarder, tying the all-time record of consecutive kicks to start off a career. But now you're seeing him as the special teams player of in the NFC, the special teams player of the month of October, which is fantastic. He was perfect the entire month of October. Technically, he was perfect in September as well, but of course, he missed the first extra point. It doesn't count for this record. Only field goals. So, again, rookie in the NFL. Of course, pro soccer player, made all 8 field goals attempts. He hit it from 50, hit it from 58. This last game, he went 11 for 11 on extra points. It was perfect on every kick. All 23 kickoffs, touchbacks for the month of October. I mean, this you can't be any better than that. He did every part of his job 100%, perfectly. That's it. Hit every field goal, hit every extra point, and hit every kickoff as a touchback. That is perfection. And he more than earned that the special teams player of the month in the NFC. And he's a step closer. It's funny I said step for a kicker. A step closer with that Pro Bowl nod as we get closer down the line. His name's definitely ringing bells out there. One more, he breaks the all-time record. And just put your head down, keep kicking them, and just don't miss them. And you just keep knocking them through. You just make that record even harder and harder and harder. Either way, Special Teams Player of the Month for October. He's the first Cowboys kicker to win the NFC Special Teams Player of the Month since Richie Cunningham did that in September 1997. Just want to throw that out there as well. So that's according to the Dallas Cowboys record-keeping side of things. So, again, before we break down these Eagles, let's start with special teams. And we just talked about Brandon Aubrey a little bit. Let me know what he had to say, Brandon. I'm going to get a picture of him up here. But let me know what Brandon Aubrey had to say.
Yeah, and I'm going to be bouncing back and forth because Aubrey has like a personal kicking coach. And he kind of touches on a few things too, so it's going to be kind of going back and forth between both of them.
Okay.
Just because
part of the story
he obviously
of Brandon
touches
Aubrey
quite a bit on things about Aubrey that Aubrey himself is not going to exactly talk about or touch on. So
let's see him. Boom.
Specifically, going back to the whole record-breaking thing that he's about to do, he said, quote, "Not something I've thought a lot about, obviously. I'm just trying to go out there and do my job. I've done it so far, and I hope to keep doing it in the future."
So,
I mean, that's definitely one way to make sure that he stays, focused and ready to go. So kind of rolling back a little bit, what's Brandon Aubrey about? What's kind of going on with him? So when he decided he wanted to transition to attempting to be an NFL kicker.
From soccer, right?
Yeah, so he said that I Googled kicking coaches in the Dallas area, and Egan was the first one to pop up. So he had good software search optimization. Mm-hmm. So, and of course, Aubrey kind of, researched Egan a little bit. Kind of said, okay, cool, he's my guy. But, the way that Egan works, I guess he has to actually take you on as a client.
So he has to be the one choosing you.
Yeah, exactly. So it goes both ways, right?
He's the girl.
Sort of. But yeah, and the thing is that at first he kind of said it, he had like some serious doubts. Wasn't really sure if he was going to be able to make it. Aubrey told him, if you think I'm wasting my time, please let me know. So Egan said, this is a tough business. There's only 32 jobs in the NFL when it comes down to place a kick. Being one of 32 in the world is a difficult task to attain. I knew he had a great story. I just never knew if he was actually going to get the opportunity to showcase himself. So,
well, he got his chance, right? USFL, what with XFL? He got his chance through there, and now he has his chance with the Cowboys, and he's field goal wise perfect.
So, and also, basically, Egan kind of threw out there that even from those first early days, that Brandon Aubrey, basically, he had it. Right? He had a technical ability when it came to kicking, and he had not just that, but the mental ability. Apparently, the mental ability is one of the main things that kind of convinced the Cowboys.
So that's Will McClay looking at it, and Stephen Jones.
And Bones, too.
True, Bones did go see him in a game.
Fossil said it. I get to witness on the sideline as a person's demeanor, and he's as poised and okay as ever, even after missing the extra point. No blinking, no ruffled feathers. He gets in the kickoff, and then he's back. So basically that moment in the Giants game was really when he solidified, like, okay, you're our kicker, you're going to be good. So, but yeah, that's pretty much it as far as the whole Brandon Aubrey kicking saga.
Well, as we get from Brandon Aubrey, let me go into, actually I'll leave it up there for a second because we're going to talk special teams from the Eagles real quick here. Because special teams wise, guys, for the Eagles, and the Cowboy situation, for the Eagles, they have Jake Elliott. We all know Jake Elliott. Unfortunately, he's a real good kicker. But sometimes he's struggling more, recently. But he hasn't been doing bad. He's still not doing his usual way. He made 18 out of 20 field goals so far this year. One miss came from farther than 50 yards out. But, again, if we look at him versus Brandon Aubrey, who wins it this time? Saying Brandon Aubrey is perfect. And he's, 90%. I'm saying Jake Elliott is 90% kicking field goals. So it's two very damn good kickers is my point here in this game. And so do not let the fate of the game fall into Jake Elliott's foot. You know what I mean? Because he'll hit it. Now, as far as punting, we got Brian Anger, but they have Brandon Mann who punts for them. He took off from Arian Sipos. Now, our punter, Anger, is punting 5 yards more per punt on average, which is a lot more. And has nearly double the amount of punts inside the 20-yard line than Brandon Mann. So just as an example, one of their weak spots for them, punter. Not at least not having as good of a year as Brian Anger. And of course, we know our returner is Cavante Turpin, but they have wide receiver Britton Covey. He's the one that's doing the punt returns right now. He's second in the NFL when it comes to the return yard side of things. He has 220 yards returned right now, and he has a 14.7 our average yards per return, which is the fourth most among punt return specialists. So he is dangerous on those returns when you look at special teams. So you got to watch out for Britton Covey, who, will be out there trying to take it back for 6 against us. Oh, what happened? Oh, we got a 5.
Skeptical fan said, hold up, a minute.
Let's
put some Cowboys in it.
Much love.
Huge shout out to
he said,
the
Jason,
skeptical fan.
He said, Jason, you're not getting this one yet. He drops 5 on it. 5 gifted memberships. Who are the lucky winners? Who we get to say the congrats to?
Shout out to Real Shit 412, West Texas Cowboy, Choice Roberts, Seabass, and Kenzie Bands.
Woo! Everybody hitting it out the ballpark tonight like our Rangers did. And much love to you, skeptical fan, who now I'm gonna have to look at the numbers here, but I think he might be making a run at that first place spot. So very close. He's definitely coming up. He's
definitely fighting it out.
I think he might have jumped the amazing games in the second place for skeptical fan. But skeptical fan is right now trying to pull away. He's got 11 gifted memberships to Jason Renfro's 3. Much love to the family, who's the big winner here, because right now, congrats to everybody who got those memberships. Drop one if you got them. And go Cowboys. Much love, skeptical fan. I'm going to make some quick additions, some quick calculations, and see where skeptical is on the board. But hit up another comment or two, in there.
Let me see. Yes, Modi said, wow, that's quite an accomplishment for a kicker.
Yeah.
And again,
fantastic.
Obviously we know that kicking is a very mental thing because we saw it the second that, Dan Bailey couldn't mentally feel like he could do it, he kind of stopped being able to do it.
Now, physically, he was also banged up, though.
I agree.
He's getting older. But, yeah, here's this tweak that he had against the Niner game that kind of always basically relegated him to not the Dan Bailey we knew before that moment.
So
Skeptical is in second place, by the way, right behind Jason Renfro in a battle. So there we go. I just wanted to make sure we got the special teams portion done. Now we're going to go into how are we going to do our offense versus this Philadelphia Eagle defense. We talked about it the other way around yesterday. So we're going to get into that, but I want you guys to kind of ride with me on this little journey for a quick minute here. And before we actually dive deeper into the player matchups, I got to get some opinions on you guys because this is one of the main things. The McCarthys Changes. I want some feedback, baby. So I want to know what you think about some of these things you're going to hear me say here about McCarthy's scheme changing. So here's the thing, guys. Listen to this. Cowboys offense almost looked perfect after the bye week. Remember I said about the bye week we have to come out there and redo some things in a real way. We have 2 weeks to do this. McCarthy, I think, did something. So I hope this continues the rest of the season. Here's the important things, guys. After the bye week, the first 4 weeks of the season, the Cowboys targeted the middle of the field only 9% of the time on early down pass attempts. On early pass attempts, first and second downs. We might have thrown quick passes outside, quick slants, or we ran. We never really attacked, 9% of the time attacking the middle of the field on early downs, which is a key to establish, I think, a more aggressive offense. You got to attack down the middle of the field a little bit. That was the first 4 weeks of the season. That was 30th ranked in the NFL out of 32.
That's not great.
From week 5 on, after those first 4 games, the Cowboys targeted the middle of the field 26% of the time on first or second down attempts. That is now 6th in the NFL. So you went from 9% to 26%, and you're seeing a more aggressive offense. I always said, guys, I said aggressive. Not Kellen Moore crazy, but aggressive.
Yeah, never go full more.
Never go full more. But again, so that's, you guys understand here, that's the first little, remember this stuff when we're watching the games and you're seeing the Cowboys on first or second down attacking the middle of the field, down the field a little bit more. Now, I think a lot of this has to do with some of this has to do with McCarthy, but also the analytics staff. The new crew of guys, we saw John Park over there in full effect when we were there at the Star, but the analytics staff, again, relatively, they got together late in the year in the offseason, which is June. Usually you start this stuff up in like February, right? The analytics crew came in June and July. A lot of people think that maybe it might have had to go a couple of games into the season before they kind of lock in. The analytics staff can kind of get a hold of what the coaching staff is trying to do, kind of mesh, right? So could the bye week have been where they kind of had the input found its way into real game planning in a bigger way for the Cowboy offense? I think the analytics is making a big change. It took a little longer because they came in a little later. You guys feel me on this?
Well, I mean, they obviously had to start gathering some of that data. And let's be honest, even we were giving a bit more leniency to McCarthy those first few weeks in the sense that we obviously were seeing things that we weren't fans of. We weren't really sure if the offense was trending in the right direction, but there was always like a reason where we were like, okay, well, maybe it's because of this. Let's go ahead and wait and see. Let's kind of see how it goes. But then it became pretty clear that, whatever McCarthy was doing initially was clearly not working. So, you can see those adjustments. You have to imagine that analytics played at least some part in it. You
got to figure, and also McCarthy's kind of timidness to go attack down the field initially. Maybe it was the Dak interceptions. Maybe he wasn't sure, but now he's sure. Dak was that way because we were over-aggressive with Kellen Moore. So the key here, though, we talked about the early downs, throwing down in the middle of the field. The Cowboys have made, listen to this, in this game specifically, we saw it from up above when we were watching from our seats. The Cowboys made a concerted effort, not just by Dak throwing or the receivers running it, by the game plan by McCarthy, to go up the field and stretch the field vertically. We did this with Brandon Cooks. You saw that deep pass. You saw us going down the field with CeeDee Lamb down deeper down the field. Guys, this was great. The Rams were running a defensive scheme aimed at taking away those kinds of throws. And we went at them with the scheme that was supposed to take that shit away. They couldn't. The first 6 weeks of the year, Dak Prescott throwing the ball 10 or more yards down the field only 30% of the time of his passing attempts. Against the Rams, he upped that to 38.7% and 5 passes that went more than 20 yards down the field. So again, 3 of those 5 down the field passes were for touchdowns, and all 4 of Dak's touchdowns were on at least throws of 10 yards or more. down the field. That is a key. Attacking 10 yards down the field, 20 yards. Dak can always do this. You just got to do it right. And we finally are finding a little bit of sinking there. Sinking between McCarthy and the analytics and Dak Prescott. Now, who dropped it? Skeptical fan dropping like it's hot. He said with that $2 holler, what did he say?
So, who's going to shadow AJ Brown?
Yeah, yesterday we touched on that, and I think Chocolate Montana brought in a good thought. I was kind of hoping to see. I didn't say it was going to happen. I was hoping to see DaRon Bland. How would that look against AJ Brown? But then I was like, Montana brought up the fact that who's going to cover the speedster Devontae Smith, and that's, is that someone you want more for a DaRon Bland than a Stephon Gilmore? So maybe Gilmore goes up on AJ Brown. We'll see what happens. Great question. I think as we get to Friday and Saturday, we'll probably get maybe a clearer answer of what's going to happen or how we're going to maybe the best chance of going at them would be. Again, I think Montana brought up that when they battled last year, Gilmore's kind of shut him down somewhat, AJ Brown. So they may be the same thought process here. AJ Brown versus Stephon Gilmore. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Good question. We're still trying to figure that out. Much love to the man staying skeptical. Dropping that 2, he's in second place as well on the board. Now, as I continue here, I wanted to kind of giving examples of the Cowboys attacking down the field. Dak did a number on the Rams with attacking down the field, but that was because the plays were there. Guys, go look at those first 5-6 games of the season. You'll see no guys down the field. You'll see no stressing on the defense and the seams. You'll see no guys going vertical routes and stretching the field. So that is, to me, one of when I say aggressive, that is what I mean. Not to be every play, but early downs, get more aggressive, and you saw that in this game against the Rams. You got to keep seeing that going forward. The biggest thing about this is, it could have happened 1 week, maybe against the Rams defense, but it's more about, I think to me, it's 2 weeks of being on the bye, which is why the Cowboys kind of rehash some of their stuff and open things up going forward. I hope going forward. The best part about McCarthy's situation, about attacking, listen to this, we attack down the field so much more often, but the best part was it was not to just one receiver. It was spread around multiple receivers, so you couldn't really...
Obviously, CeeDee Lamb was the favorite, but
yeah,
yes.
But that's not the point. The point is that we attacked... It didn't have to be every touchdown. It wasn't every touchdown. It was we attacked 10 yards or more to guys like Brandon Cooks. We had Gallup, Cavante Turpin, Ferguson. It was a lot of different guys getting the... It wasn't just CeeDee Lamb. You know what I mean? It was not just CeeDee Lamb getting the big passes, and then everybody else was just getting 2-yard passes or catches, So the deep shots, you said it, CeeDee Lamb had 6 targets of 10 or more yards. CeeDee Lamb. But then look at this. Cooks had 3. Gallup had 2. Jake Ferguson and Turpin had 1 apiece. Ferguson, of course, caught that touchdown, that great catch. And again, bringing up the usage by McCarthy of the tight end position. The tight end position has barely been used before this game against the Rams. Another tweak from McCarthy's playbook and changes as we go into the Eagle game. We want to see more Ferguson. You got Schoonmaker making the catch. We tried to throw the ball to McEwen. It tipped off his hands. I'm just saying, but the attacks, the targets were there. And again, like I said, the 10 yards down the field, that was a touchdown to Ferguson. So that's using your tight ends better. We came in with this last game against the Rams with 4 tight ends on the active roster. So again, 3 of them saw at least 1 target. Ferguson saw more than that. So I just want to keep that in notice here, that McCarthy's tweaks and changes are obvious if you just look at the game and say, oh, shit, okay, we're doing this, and we're doing this. And we haven't done those things too often the entire season. We talked about motion. I'm not going to talk about motion again because we talked about that till we're blue in the face. But listen to this. When you using speed motion, not just, you use it with the tight end, but listen to this. You also used it with CeeDee Lamb. And you switched them up into Michael Gallup's position, the X-receiver on the field. So 6 of the plays that were targeted to CeeDee Lamb were away from the passing strength of the formation. What does that mean? It means that the strength might have been where we were trips, right? And it was Michael Gallup, Brandon Cooks, and Ferguson. CeeDee Lamb was by himself, isolated. And that the Rams were not ready for coverage. The Cowboys have not done that too often with CeeDee Lamb. The Cowboys always have CeeDee Lamb in the trips. So now isolating CeeDee Lamb, you saw a confusion or an inability to really stop CeeDee Lamb. You guys feel me on this? CeeDee Lamb was taking the X snaps that used to go to Michael Gallup, and the offense did a lot better when CeeDee Lamb was the isolated player. It's important to note that, not with the trips. You know what I mean by that? Yeah. So the Cowboys didn't just stay with CeeDee Lamb isolated either. They mixed it up. They did some of the stuff we know, some of the stuff they didn't know. No one really knew. So CeeDee Lamb got more slot snaps. Remember, slot the slot is where CeeDee Lamb usually is at, right? 80% sometimes. He didn't get as many this time. He got more isolated, formations. But when he was still in the slot more than every single Cowboy receiver in this game against the Rams. So even being used as the isolation X receiver, he still was used more than anybody else in the slot. And that's the key here. It's the versatility of using CeeDee Lamb, and that is Mike McCarthy. That's not, maybe Dak's helping, but that's Mike McCarthy finding ways to take advantage of CeeDee Lamb, in the game plan. And actually run plays to get him open. Run plays to focus on him. So when you look at the way when we line up with CeeDee Lamb, again, in the slot, was split outside, was the isolated, receiver. Turpin got more snaps on offense this week, but he got him a lot in the slot. When he got those snaps in the slot, CeeDee Lamb was isolated most of the time in that X spot. And no one's clouding over Michael Gallup, and they weren't ready for that, right? They had to move a guy now. They had to double out to the outside and maybe bring a safety over the top. But now you have mismatched numbers on the other side. So wherever CeeDee Lamb was, he either made the play because he had a one-on-one kind of matchup, or he opened it up for the other guys to get more plays. Either way, it worked for this offense. And it's the changes from McCarthy that makes a huge difference here. McCarthy, I think you got to give credit, of course, some to Dak, of course, but McCarthy, you got Brian Schottenheimer, who, of course, is, I'm sure, utilizing some of his, 2 cents and, using his mind, speaking up on what needs to be done as well, some ideas there. So I hope that this continues this path. I really hope that Mike McCarthy's game plan that he did, looking like against the Rams, I hope that it continues going forward, not just against the Eagles, but against everyone out there. And when you look at this game coming up against the Eagles, this is a game that you don't want to try to establish the running game if you're the Cowboys. I know everybody wants to say, let's run the ball. Let's run the ball, let's run the ball, let's run the ball. Guys, it would be the Eagles have allowed 3 rushing touchdowns this year. They're only allowing 3.8 yards per carry, which is extremely fantastic. This is a game you have to attack, and we're going to talk about it, attack the secondary. Reminds you of the Rams a little bit. Attack the secondary. That's how you can really get up on these guys. And you got to do it often. Early downs. We just talked about it. Early downs. Attack Mike McCarthy against this Eagle team. You can set up the run off the pass success. If we have success passing the ball on first and second downs, we're going to be able to run it a little bit easier on the Eagles. It's just the way it goes. It's simple mathematics. Philadelphia, here's the thing though. Philadelphia is fantastic at stopping the running game in this league. The last 2 running backs, the last 2 weeks, have broken a little bit through there though. I'll explain in a minute. Skeptical fan dropping $2.02 holler.
Woo, shout out to you, Skeptical fan. Do you know what he had to say?
Hit me with it.
Do you think Tyron will play? Because hopefully he will.
I think he will end up playing. I still can't say. I was feeling more confident earlier in the week. The way the Cowboys are talking, you just never freaking know. But I think he'll play. And if he doesn't, Udoga will be out there playing. I think both guys will probably be available. But definitely one of them will be, like Jerry Jones said earlier in the week. And I think one of them will be available this game. But yeah, still worrisome the way the Cowboys playing games around here. And kind of keeping us always, it's Thursday, we'll know. Now it's Saturday, we're going to know. Next thing is going to be a game time decision. The fuck?
So, but yes, real quick with that, yes, $2 holler, you already said it. You think Tyron will play, hopefully he will. Obviously, yes, fingers crossed. And it is trending in that direction. Obviously, like you kind of mentioned a few minutes ago, just because you see him maybe trending in the opposite direction during the week. That's not because he's somehow taking a step back. It's just because the Cowboys are obviously managing him very carefully to make sure he's good to go.
They want to see no setbacks. They didn't want to rush him into padded practice today. That's where they changed their mindset. So, anyways, there you go, guys. And
by the way, Jay Duncan agrees, saying, totally agreed. Throw deep on the Eagles.
Yeah, I mean, hey, that's the way you got to do it against the Eagles. You can't be shy. The key is you got to stop their pass rush, right? We're going to talk about that in a minute. But here's the thing. Running the ball against this Eagle team is not a good idea. McCarthy should know that. Now, I do want to say one thing, though. Again, if you're able to pass the ball, you will be able to run a little bit more on the Eagle team. Listen to this. I said, their run defense has been fantastic, allowing 3.8 yards per carry. But look at the last 2 weeks. The last 2 weeks of running backs. They're averaging 5.2 yards per carry. That's like a yard and a half more than the average all year for the Eagles. So, again, I don't think you're going to get this running game fully flowing and then we're going to get a breakout game from Tony Pollard. No, but I do think that you attack through the air. You then chip away sometimes through the ground. It opens it up a little bit that way. And you keep them on their heels, right? If you do that, you will average 5 yards of carry against this defense possibly, if you can get it rolling in the air. So, to me, this is a game you don't establish the run against the Eagles. You hear me, Mike McCarthy? This is a game you establish the pass. Specifically on early downs. Now, I'm talking about the Cowboys offense first before we break down the Eagles defense. But listen to this. These quick numbers here. And I'm leaving McCarthy up because he's running this offense. Cowboy offense have scored 10 passing touchdowns. That's just how we have to attack through the air, right? We've thrown 10 passing touchdowns this year. That is 8th most in the NFL. The Eagles defense have allowed 16 passing touchdowns. That is the 3rd worst. That's 30th in the NFL. So they allow a lot of touchdowns in the air. We throw a lot of touchdowns in the air. Do you understand what I'm trying to say here? Attack through the air. Now, Dak Prescott has a passer rating of 97.8. That's the 8th most in the NFL. The Eagles defense is allowing a quarterback passer rating of 97.2, basically the same. That is also the 6th worst in the NFL. We're talking about low 20s. So their defense does not attack quarterbacks very well. They don't rattle them very well, which is a big kind of news there because they have a good front. A good front of nonstop, I'd say 8 deep on that front 4 of that Eagle defense. So they stop that run. A little more trouble stopping the pass. We can carve yards down the field on this team if we can get the blocking going. And again, it's shown that they could get pressure on you, but they are not disrupting the quarterback like the way we disrupt the quarterback with our defense, right? And, some people say, some Eagle fans are out there saying, let's see Eli Ricks out there against CeeDee Lamb. That would be the best fucking thing in the world. Eli Ricks, Roby's banged up. He probably is not going to play the game. You move Bradbury over there. He's burned last week. So no matter what the Eagles seem to do, they're in trouble. But a lot of people think it's going to be that Eli Ricks has a CB1 potential, maybe in like 3 years. He'll get toasted by CeeDee Lamb, and so please put him out there against us. And you look at the offensive line. We're going to talk about the Eagle players, and we're going to start with them on that front line first. Terrence Steele, number 78. Got to watch him on that right tackle spot because he's going to be going up against Hassan Reddick. And yeah, we're going to talk a lot about him. You're going to see him here in a minute. Hassan Reddick, number 7. He's going to be nonstop left side from their defense, left side, our side, right side. Terrence Steele versus Hassan Reddick is a major matchup in this game, a major key. And something else, since week 4, forget week 1, 2, and 3. Since week 4 with the Eagles, Hassan Reddick has 6.5 sacks in the last 4 weeks. That's major numbers right there. Again, got to be careful for this guy, and he gave us a headache last year when he was with them. Again, he came, I think, from the Panthers. So again, when you look at the Cowboy offense as a whole, we are scoring 28 points per game currently right now. Can you believe that? That's 2nd most in the NFL. The Eagles defense, they're allowing 22 points a game. That is 12th most in the NFL. You're looking at 20th. They allow points. They allow passing yards. They allow quarterbacks to have good ratings against their defense. You hearing what I'm saying here? One thing that you don't hear me saying is they allow a lot of runs, the Eagles. They don't. They don't allow a lot of good runners at all here. So the Eagle defense versus the Cowboy offense. The Eagle defensive line, guys, and this is where we start off with. Let's actually get to the Eagles here and kind of show you what I got here of who we got to kind of key in on. There's a lot of Eagles to be looking at. Of course, want to see that kind of Eagle the most. You got the fuck the Eagles, always fuck the Eagles. Drop the emoji if you got them, guys. It's on there. The E-girls. And then those bitches cry like bitches, hopefully. That's what we'll be seeing. So, again, the defense here. Dak Prescott, Mike McCarthy, all these, they got to keep an eye on these motherfuckers. And they got some solid guys here in this entire defense. I'd say, even at linebacker, they got guys that do the role they need to be done. So, when you look at the defensive line, Hassan Reddick, number 7, he's the main guy you got to watch, right? Even over Fletcher Cox. He's the main guy you got to watch because he leads. Right now he's getting more. Just overall, that the Eagles' defensive line, you know how good we are. The Eagles' defensive line is getting more sacks and more pressures than our defensive line. Hassan Reddick leads this Eagle team in sacks with 7. He has 1 more than Micah Parsons. Behind him is Josh Sweat, having a very good season. The Eagles' defense right now is holding running backs to an average of 65 yards of rushing yards per game. 65 rushing yards. They're damn good, guys. That's the least in the NFL. They are number 1 at stopping the run in the NFL. So when you see all these sacks coming from this defensive line, you're like, damn, this is a nonsense. We can't get past this defensive line, right? Hold on a second. Because all these high sacks and pressure you're seeing from them, you think they dominate the scoring, right? And teams struggle to score. You assume that. That's not true. Listen to this. The Eagles rank 19th in points allowed at home. And they are allowing an average of 25 points per game, which is the 5th most at home. They are also struggling to stop third downs. They can't put teams on third downs and punt. They're not doing it. The Eagles are allowing opponents to convert a high level, 43% of the time. Their teams are converting 43% of the time on third down. That is 7th worst in the league. We're talking about 25th in the league. So, again, what's the weaknesses for the Eagles? They can't stop third downs. They allow points at home. I'm just saying, guys, like this team right now, they stop the run, but they got high sacks. They got pressure, but they have trouble stopping you when it really matters, right? Now, we go to this, again, you're seeing this from guys like Hassan Reddick. We know about Fletcher Cox, number 91. He's a monster in the middle, a little older now, but still does this thing out there, so always dangerous. You look at their entire defensive line there, Fletcher Cox. Inside, the young guy, Jordan Davis, who's banged up with the hamstring. Jalen Carter with the back. He should be back. So, Milton Williams a little banged up. The interior is banged up or old, but they are still hard to get over, and especially running the ball inside. But when it comes to the pass rush, it's about Hassan Reddick and Josh Sweat. And when they get spelled, it's Brandon Graham and Derek Barnett. They do damage out there, guys. So we got to be on full. They got to be on full awareness here when it comes to this defensive line. When we go to the linebackers, and they got Nakobe Dean, number 17, and Zach Cunningham. Both these guys are their starters. Christian Elias and Nicholas Morrow are their backups. But here's the thing. Nakobe Dean, he missed the start of the season, but then returned 3 weeks ago and got right in there and doing his tackling job. Last week against Washington, he made 12 tackles and 2 tackles for loss. So he was very effective. The part he did suffer in, though, Nakobe Dean was not very good at pass rushing. He struggled, in pass coverage. He was not very good in covering players. So if you want to know what Dak should be pointing to right there is Ferguson. When you see Nakobe Dean, number 17, covering him. When you see Nakobe Dean in coverage, attack him, whoever he's covering. He struggled there, right? He let a lot of targets get thrown to his direction, and he couldn't stop those targets. So Nakobe Dean, not a very good coverage linebacker. I'm going to refer to the Rams game where they had Rosenblum and another guy there, and they both are very bad in coverage. Guess what we did? Touchdown Ferguson to open the drive. Opening drive. I'm just saying that is how you would take advantage of the weaker linebackers in coverage. Nakobe Dean is one of those guys. He's weak in coverage. Attack him in coverage. Zach Cunningham, their other linebacker for the Eagles. Less productive when it comes to tackling. He only had 5 tackles against Washington last week, but he has 44 tackles on the season, and that's second most for the Eagle team. When it comes to missing tackles, Zach Cunningham is their leader of missing tackles. And that's the thing. Even though he's got 44 tackles, which is second most, but still misses a lot of tackles. He misses 13% of his tackles. Nakobe Dean, he's been targeted 13 times since returning to action, and he allowed every target for a reception. So what do you think we should do at linebacker, baby, when it comes to attacking this Eagle team? Because one guy can't cover, the other guy misses tackles. So we can pick and choose there.
I think, obviously, overall, I kind of like the plan that McCarthy already brought out against our current past opponent, the Rams, where we saw a huge Marquise Bell situation, right? So pretty much Marquise Bell was used to
Yeah, but we're talking about.
You said about the linebacker role.
Yeah, but we're talking about their linebackers, my love. Yeah, I know you're out of it right now, but I'm talking about us against their linebackers. When you got one guy who cannot cover too well, like Nakobe Dean, and the other guy who's not a very good tackler, like Zach Cunningham, who misses 13% of his tackles.
You want to take advantage and maybe put some of your more physical guys, like your tight ends, there.
Yeah, you want to attack them with the tight ends, and you want to make sure you try to run at Zach Cunningham.
Sorry, just reading the chat here. Oh, yeah, definitely some interesting commentary there. Skeptical fan, by the way, throwing out there, just put pressure on Jalen. Make him use his legs, and hopefully by doing that, he'll just give our defense the ball.
No, we talked about it yesterday. The pressure on Jalen hurts him. He's not had a good season when he got pressured. Pass completion percentage when pressured, it's like 55%. It's kind of like Matthew Stafford, except Hurts throws 8 interceptions.
So, by the way, DeLunatic said, let Dak cook and let Dak show Philly. He's their daddy.
And that, I think, is the key. When you talk about attacking and you're going to run, it's going to be tough to run against this team. But Zach Cunningham, he's going to miss tackles if you do get into the second level. And when you attack in the air, we just started the attack in the air discussion here because, again, we got to make sure we avoid the sacks and the pressure that they're going to bring. But hopefully our offensive line will be ready to do that. The bigger key is who do you attack with? Ferguson against Nakobe Dean. Whoever's against Nakobe Dean, I don't care if it's Schoonmaker, I don't care if it's McEwen. You attack that spot. So that's the first part. The second part is the secondary of this Eagles. You see Darius Slay leads the way. But it is an area of weakness for the Eagles. And a place where the Cowboys have to attack and exploit. It's not even that they lack talent. But they've been hit with a lot of injuries at that position, in that area. And like I said, guys, when it comes to the main spot they're hurt, is that nickel cornerback spot. Bradley Roby. So when you're looking at this, guys, again, one of the reasons why the Eagles games look like shootouts is because they cannot stop the pass. A lot of these games you're saying, how are the Eagles having trouble with the Jets in a shootout? How are they having trouble with, the Washington Commanders in a shootout? Like it's a high-scoring game. Because they don't have a pass defense. Now, we have a good defense. Hopefully our defense cannot make it such a shootout by holding them at bay a little bit easier, a little more often. And maybe if we pass a lot more in this game against this secondary, that will keep us ahead of them throughout the entire game. That is the key here, guys. The Cowboys have to exploit this. And you look at this, Avonte Maddox. He was their starter out there. He got put on injured reserve back in September. Huge loss for them when it comes to the pass coverage system that the Eagles have back there. Then they lost their safety, Justin Evans. And now they lost their nickel corner, Bradley Roby, who will probably miss this week. Again, missed 2 days of practice already with the shoulder. So the evil Eagles defensive backs are allowing the 7th most passing yards per game. And they've allowed 16 passing touchdowns, like I said earlier, which is 3rd most in the NFL. This defensive backfield, again, even with the pressure on the side, they still cannot stop any passing attacks. Good or bad offenses. We should be, again, I would say before this game against the Rams, I'd say, we're going to be a team it's going to be a low-scoring game. But now that I see that McCarthy opened up his fucking eyes and said, let's attack down the field, if we continue that, we should, if there's any team we should do that against, it's this team. It's the Eagles right now. Now, Bradley Roby's banged up, like I said. That's their safety. I mean, their nickel cornerback. That guy is going to be watching CeeDee Lamb a lot of the times. The Eagles' defensive backs right now, guys, allowing all these passing touchdowns. They've only managed 4 interceptions this year, which, again, it compounds the issue for the Eagles' defense to stop the pass. So they don't get those interceptions. They don't get good coverage. They allow a lot of yards. They allow teams back in the game. It's all about passing against this Eagle defense, secondary. And they got Byard in the house now at safety. He's going to improve them. You got to watch for him. Still is a team you can pass all over. That is the key here going forward with our offense versus their defense. The team right now, one other guy I didn't talk about who came, is James Bradbury. He's leading the Eagles right now in pass breakups and lowest completion rate allowed right now. So he's looking like he's having a good year, right? Well, I know he's been slipping up recently, and they put him in the slot. They put him in the nickel cornerback spot last week when Roby was gone, and he was having major issues. He was just getting torn up. So now he's going to go up against CeeDee Lamb. I wonder who they're going to put against CeeDee Lamb. That's going to be a real good question. Will it be James Bradbury? I think they should keep on the outside if you want the best of him. Now, their starting safety, Reed Blankenship. He leads the team with 2 interceptions. He's their best pick guy right there in the backfield. They got 4 total. He's got 2. And, again, also holds quarterbacks to the lower passer rating of the team, which is 83.9. That's not that low. It's low, but it's not that low overall. We got guys that hold guys with 26 and 53. Darius Slay, number 2 on your screen right there. Again, he's the guy that the Eagles always relied on. He's the focal point of their secondary to make sure everything stops when you go to him. But he's been relied upon as the guy who basically goes up against CeeDee Lamb, right? He takes away your best receiver. But this year, he leads the Eagles in yards allowed, and he leads the Eagles in touchdowns allowed. So Darius Slay's been slayed multiple times this year. You know what I mean? No? Oh. How about Darius Slay? So, again, this year you're going to see someone like CeeDee Lamb going up against him or in the slot against whoever's the backup to Roby, unless they want to follow CeeDee Lamb. I'll love that. CeeDee Lamb should have a good day against the Eagles. And don't forget about Brandon Cooks, Michael Gallup, Tolbert, and others, Ferguson, who should have big days. Some of these guys, not all of them, but some of these guys will have big days against this Eagle defense, the defensive backs. And again, safety. When you look at the tight ends versus our tight ends versus their tight ends in coverage, you want to attack. You want to attack with our receivers down the field against this Eagle defense. All you need is a couple of seconds from the offensive line, and we're good to go, I think, guys. So that, we'll dive into more of the details and kind of the keys to victory. The key matchups to look for in this game is going to determine this big game. I think the trenches is the biggest part of things. The offensive line, defensive line on both sides, that's going to be the team. Because if we control the blocking and we can hold off these guys for 2.5 seconds, that should give Dak enough time to carve through this Eagle defense. And McCarthy, hopefully, is not going to be dumping down 2-yard passes every 5 seconds. I hope we're going to be dumping passes down the field and a little more vertical attack, a little more attacking offense, right?
I mean, yeah, again, you've highlighted it several times today, throughout the week and stuff. The weakness for the Eagles is going to be in the passing game, at least, us passing through the air, taking advantage of those weaknesses, right? Matching up some of our more physical, athletic players with some of the players that, maybe can't handle that type of physicality, right? That's an easy, simple way that we can, make our adjustments on our side, and obviously allow the game to play out after that. So, ooh, yeah, guys, and, I get bad intention can stay for now, but, yeah, if he keeps being kind of silly, we'll go ahead and give him the boot. I can't believe real shit has this shit more together than bad intentions. Bad intentions, you should be ashamed of yourself.
That might be real shit's alter ego. Who knows? That's the way you carve up this Eagle defense. Just wanted to say, and that's how you carve up some Eagle meat and cook them up. That's what I want to see.
As Modi is throwing out there, this is a game of matchups.
Yep.
It's going to come down to how well we match up against them on both sides of the ball, but that's just my opinion.
Yeah, no, I agree. That's what I was saying with CeeDee Lamb. Whoever you got him in, right? You got him in the slot. You got him on the outside. You want to attack the right way. You're going to put him as the X receiver isolated in the 3-by-1. That's great. You got to use motion, play action. These are the things that are going to help the offense. When you look at the other side, Of course, trenches are number one, but when you look at the other side, you look at the similar thing with matchups like who's covering A.J. Brown, and is it going to be someone like Stephon Gilmore, who did a good job last year against him when he was with the Colts last year and played the Eagles? Were you going to put him against, you're going to put DaRon Bland on the speedy Devontae Smith? You got tall guys in the middle there, Midas and Julio Jones are going to play. They're going to be, all these guys are going to be mixing in and out of the slot, so who's going to go in there? Is it going to be Jordan Lewis going against the taller guys? You're going to have to mix it up. I know. I got to see it from Dan Quinn. But you know what I do know about Dan Quinn? He always seems to come up with that little piece that you, okay, oh, yeah, him. Montana said Israel Mukuamu. I would like that matchup. He did great in the slot last year as a nickel cornerback in the last 2 weeks of the season, and he's going to go up against bigger guys like Julio Jones and Okamitis, whatever his name is. That's who you want in there, someone bigger, not Jordan Lewis. I want DaRon Bland getting one of the main men out there, Devontae Smith or A.J. Brown. And, Stephon Gilmore cannot really go up against Devontae because he's going to probably burn him speed-wise, but he can probably handle the physicality of an A.J. Brown. So these are the matchups Dan Quinn's working on behind the scenes and hopefully maximizing the potential for our defense and our offense. Defense for Quinn in this situation, but of course, in the matchup situation, got to win the line of scrimmage. It'll make the coverage a lot easier. Dan Quinn knows that, and he has some tricks up his sleeve. I'm confident about that. I don't know what those tricks. I don't know if they're going to work, but I know he's got some tricks up his sleeve. Let's do the final shout-outs here, baby, and wrap this thing up. Early night tonight.
We actually can't because don't forget we had two players who spoke.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, because I did speak about. Again, you gotta remind me on that. But yes, Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb both spoke on the offensive side, so we just kind of broke down the entire Eagles situation on defense versus our offense. Now I'm curious what the plan is going to be from Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb going forward. We just talked about the keys here, right? Let's finish it up tonight. Get your last drops of knowledge in the chat, last drops of love from above for this raffle that's coming up here, guys. You know it. We talked about it. It's brought to you by the man, De Lunatic, a double raffle jersey this weekend, Sunday afternoon at halftime of the Eagle game. De Lunatic. We're raffling off 2 jerseys here. 2 winners. One each are gonna get a jersey. And we don't know who those winners are going to be, but you can up your chances. If you get $10 in, you're in the raffle. If you're in the raffle and you're in the membership, you get a bonus raffle. But if you want to keep getting more chances and upping your chances on winning one of these jerseys, every 10 that you drop for the channel, the love, however, gifting, Cash App, anyway, you keep stacking raffle entries. Like I said, Jason Renfro, Amazing Games, they're up there in like 8, 9 raffle entries already. Doesn't mean they're going to win. Just means you got a better chance. And I've seen people win against 20 raffle entries with 1. It happens. It's just the role of the program, right? So we don't know what's going to come up, but hey, you got more raffle entries, better chance to win. And that's the way it goes. So Sewn and Stitch jerseys, Cowboys mosh. He's got listen, even if you're real shit and you win, and he's not in the raffle. But let's say he won the raffle. It's any team, any sport even. If you want to go to hockey, you get hockey. So there's a lot of different choices. You get the Rangers if you want. The Rangers are available if you're interested in that. The World Champs, MLB World Champs. So anyways, any team, any sport, a lot of different choices, a lot of different great players, especially for the Cowboys. And we're not giving you the one we want to give you. You're choosing the one you want. Much love to the Lunatic for making this happen. And good luck to everybody in the raffle currently right now at this moment. On that note, baby. I was just saying that so they can get their last comments, their thoughts, their drops of love in. Break down the last couple of comments we have from, I guess, our 2 main players on offense, Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb. Who spoke first?
CeeDee Lamb spoke first.
Okay. He said his 2 cents on things. CeeDee Lamb came into again, at the slot. Can he be used and moved around? We'll see.
He said, I definitely would love to end our season the way that they did. And they, as in, well, none other than the Rangers. Right?
Okay,
the
good.
Texas Rangers.
I thought about the Eagles. I'm like, wait.
No. The way they did. Because they just ended their seasons as the champions, the world champions. Mm-hmm. So, we're trying to get a little taste of that glory. CD adding in there, they did a great job of being consistent. I know they had a lot of adversity throughout the season. Shout out to the Rangers, man. It's crazy.
No, I mean, again, using that as a push, they're going to do the victory parade, and they're staying away from AT&T Stadium. Kind of a good thing, I think. It's almost like saying, come on, you got to earn it, Cowboys. And I agree. They got to earn it.
Yep. And of course, it was actually Dak Prescott who spoke the most after that. Really, CD didn't say too much more.
Oh, that's the only thing he said? Oh.
Yeah. So, I know, hard to believe, but...
Here, yeah. Well, he's ready. He's ready. I know he's ready. Dak is ready? Let's see what Dak had to say.
What I took most from it were the post-game interviews. Whether it was the owner talking about faith, whether it was Nathaniel Lowe talking about the tough years they went through, but being invested to this team because of the people. Just a lot of championship things they had going on, obviously, which propelled them to win the championship. So, Dak is basically trying to look at them and say, like, damn, how did they win? How do we do that?
Well,
so
they got to keep that push going all year long.
Mm-hmm. And by the way, Dak is not a fan of the tush push. He said that he wishes that they could call it literally anything else. Saying,
that's kind of funny.
Quote, quarterback sneak with a little bit of help.
All right, so just push the quarterback in. Not that
Dak does not like his tush push.
Definitely don't like the brotherly shove and definitely don't like the tush push, but let's just get, let's not copy them. Let's just not have to require those kind of plays.
So, Dak was also asked if he sees many peace signs going into Philly. He says, yeah, only one of the fingers.
That's the middle one, in case you guys didn't realize it.
He said that playing in Philly is such a good atmosphere. He compares it to Saturday nights in the SEC.
Oh, there you go, guys. It's just that feel. Yeah.
So he just said it. It's just a good atmosphere for football. You can say growing up in the SEC, a lot of different venues and stadiums, you can feel it when you get near the stadium. Eat, sleep, breathe the game of the football, the fans' excitement, the atmosphere, the close games, and the energy. When you walk into Lincoln Financial Field, it's no different. It feels like some of those old Saturday nights. Fans are going to get loud. You've got to make sure your communication is top-notch. And then it's always fun just getting a wind up there. So
we need that win.
He also said Philly fans are serious. They love their team. They're ruthless to the other guys. And if their team isn't doing well, they let them know that too. You probably know what I mean. Not anything that's probably PG-13, to be honest with you. Whether it's language or driving to stadiums, seeing how the fans give you different signs. Even show body parts at times on the back end.
That means they're mooning you guys, in case you didn't know.
So, sorry, that just cracks me up there. So, and yeah, that was pretty much it from our QB.
Yeah, so Dak broke it down, CD broke it down. I got to break something else down, baby, because we got ourselves a new person in the over everything level. And it's the man, Seabass. Much love to him.
Woo, thank you so much, Seabass.
Woo, man.
Appreciate you.
You know what that means, right?
He hopped into the over everything.
Yeah.
Holy cannoli there, Seabass. Much love.
Yeah, that's why I think you missed it when I said it.
Yes. Yeah, sorry, I was reading comments.
Yes. Much love to Seabass, who, by the way, now in the over everything, you know what the bonus added perk? Now, listen, he gets, he's in, what? He's got 5 raffle entries just like that. And I don't know, I got to fix the board here because he's moved way up on this board. He gets 5 raffle entries and a 6th one for being in the membership, right? So that's 6
right.
entries just like that. Seabass coming for the top spot. Quick like. Let me update the board here, baby. Hit the last comments before we, we say goodnight here, but it's a big shout out. Only our second ever Over Everything member here. Snug X was the first. Now we got Seabass in the house.
And by the way, Seabass, if you do get the chance to shoot us an email, mycowboysfamily@gmail.com, or just drop a comment on one of our videos or something, just so that we can touch base with you and work out,
when's a good time for you to jump on?
Perks. Exactly.
Yeah, man, you get to be on our show. I can't wait to hear what Seabass got to say. So it has to be one person, you know what I'm saying? We can pick different weeks for if there's more people in there. Yeah, he's up there. He is currently, let me make sure I got this right. Yeah, he is currently right here in 4th place on the overall board. He's got 6 entries. Only a couple people have more entries than him right now in this raffle. Much love to the man, Seabass. Let us know what days, like you said, we need to know what days you're going to be good for so we can plan it on our show. You can be with us on one full show and talk your thoughts, give your thoughts on our Cowboys and what you think, good, bad, and ugly, on our topics of the day and whatever's going on that week when it comes to our Dallas Cowboys. Much love. Big shout-outs to Seabass. He's in that over everything. That's the highest shelf, the highest level membership you can get in this channel, and he's got it.
So, and yes, Frame Rippers, more cowbell and elotes. So, let me go ahead and do the kind of final shout-outs here in the chat. A huge shout-out to everybody here chilling, hanging with us. Thank you for taking time out of your night to, chill here and talk some Dallas Cowboy football, make sure to take a second to hit like if you haven't already. Super easy, simple way to help the channel. Subscribe down below, hit that notification bell, and follow us on all social media. Of course, the sponsor of the week, you know why he's here. SnugX.
Yeah, sponsor
Thank
week.
you so much. Appreciate you, of course. Not just repping it as a sponsor of the week, he's also got that Cash App King crown.
You know it. Appreciate the man SnugX on those boards. The other two boards currently being run, and every board actually being run by Jason Renfro. 96 points on the stream boss. Jason Renfro is our gifting champion, but not the gifting leader. Gifting leader is Skeptical Fan in first place. You see him there with 11 gifted memberships. And if you look at the you look at the overall board right now, you got Jason Renfro in first place, repping that. He's got almost a full, complete takeover. Much love to Jason Renfro on all the boards there, except Skeptical Fan. He's got a little bit there to say on the gifting side of things. But, man, big takeovers, big shout-outs to everybody. And, again, if you were giving the shout-outs, I'm giving the shout-outs to those that dropped the love from above tonight, those that represent all kinds of boards here the last two nights, because there were some memberships that went through some of these navy blue, silver star, and over everything's like Seabass in the over everything level. And then you got Skeptical Fan in the star level, Mary Alvarez in the star level, Andy Post in the star level, Kevin Richards in the navy blue crew, A. Lavelle, who again, his hit yesterday in this star level. In the silver level membership. You got Jason Renfro in the star level, Gerald Swaim in the navy blue, along with the wife here, MCW. And then, of course, the drops today. A lot of those people I just mentioned, A. Lavelle, Stanny, right, in the house, Jason Renfro, Seabass, thank you all. Got to give those extra shout-outs. Now you can give the shout-outs to those in the chat as we wrap it up for the night.
Mike Aldana, Skeptical Fan, Choctaw Montana 808, Seabass, SnugX, The Lunatic, Frame Rippers, Dirty South MVP, Pioneer, Real Shit 412. Kind of rolling back a little bit. Asmodeus, much love.
See, SnugX knows why we allow them to stay in the chat, because we bombard them with the actual attack from Cowboy Family. And you got those emojis, so drop it on their fucking heads while you're at it too. Trigger them.
James.
Trigger them, guys. Trigger them.
I just want to make sure I give all the proper shout outs here. Rare, thank you for joining us. I Stick Aguilera 4. Yeah, that's as far back as I can go. So let me come back down. And yeah. So, guys, with that said, you know why we do what we do here.
Yeah, but
MCF.
But baby, I want you to tell us why. Why do we do what we do here on the nightly here on MyCowboysFamily?
It's that navy blue, that silver too, and that star over everything.
Everything, guys. Win, lose, or draw, good, bad, or ugly. Here on this channel, here in MCF, we always rep that star over everything. And here for 6 years plus, 7 years of doing these, season in-game reactions every week. Here on YouTube, never forget, here on MyCowboysFamily, here now and forever, as always, never forget. Say it loud, say it proud, say it with us. Go Cowboys! Let's get that 6 and beyond. Thank you guys for dropping all the knowledge in the chat tonight, all night long. Appreciate, of course, the drops of love from above, whether in the thanks, whether in the Cash App, gifting memberships, in the membership. Appreciate every single one of you guys all across the boards. And now that we clock out for the night, we got to relock, reload for tomorrow, kind of the Fan Friday, key matchup, keys to victory. Already kind of the plan has been laid out. You've heard it if you've been watching the last couple of days. You know what's coming. We'll be talking about that the next couple of nights, and then it's game day, baby, the big one. Sunday night with that raffle you see at the bottom right, the Lunatic style. 2 lucky winners, each getting a jersey. Can't wait, baby. But now, for tonight, we got to drop out and clock out. Before we can do all of that, though, before we drop out for the night officially, tell everybody what we got to do.
We got to drop the beat.
Oh, yeah. The beat has been dropped, guys. Thank you once again here on MyCowboysFamily. Can I do it without your love, your support, the back and forth? I love it. Whether we agree, disagree, we're a family. And it's Dallas Cowboys for life, baby. Here in MCF, we got another Cowboys chat. It's a wrap. It's in the books. Boom. We got our fighter jets going. We got our offense. We got that high-flying offense back. Let's get it, not over. Let's not go full more. Let's just go a little bit in that more section. Let's just make sure we go a little more. But not overboard more. Fuck the Eagles, as you can see there. That's one of the big plays of McCarthy's new playbook. and the change that we talked about. We talked about Brandon Aubrey. We talked about our offense versus their defense, and they got a good one. But they got a beatable defense. Trust me. We need to kick those freaking Eagles right out of our stadium, right out of their own stadium. Brandon Aubrey style, as you see there. Boom. Here in MCF, it's about that navy blue, that silver too. That star over everything. Never forget. The number one thing here at My Cowboys Family. Much love to everyone in the house, even the enemies, even the haters. Thank you all for stopping by here. Don't forget to hit that like for the stream, subscribe to the channel, the notification bell so you know when we're going live. Follow us on Twitter, X, all social media, at My Cowboys Family. Much love to Seabass and the over everything level. Make sure you hit us up on MyCowboysFamily at gmail.com so we know when you're ready to go live. We're here with us. And guys, thank you. Have a good night. Stay safe. We'll see you tomorrow. Peace. And never ever forget. Go Cowboys!
Monk on the beat. Monk on the beat.